Hello, Paul. Hello, how are you doing? Hi, Paul.
Morning, Paul.
How is everyone?
Not too bad, thank you. So Paul Brown, Brown super fan. You can catch him. I had your Twitter up a minute ago, but I just navigated away from it. Beg your pardon. Your Twitter is at Paul Brown underscore UK. How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
It's actually my 40th birthday, so I'm having a drink. So
I do not blame you, man.
Good
Many
plan.
happy
Happy birthday.
returns.
Happy birthday.
thank you very much.
And
Thank
and,
you
and
so-
what are you hoping for your What pick are you hoping for your birthday?
Not to trade down. Either a cornerback or a defensive end. So yeah, that'd be good. I think.
Anyone in mind at the defensive end?
Do you know what? There's a lot of names being shouted out there. I've gone with Greg R as my if it drops that far. But yeah, otherwise, mate, whatever we get. I really don't want to take a linebacker, but yeah, let's just see.
How about those sort of hybrid outside linebacker type defensive ends that kind of bridge that gap to your Ojalaris and people like that? Or do you want a pure edge?
Yeah, I think I would go with a pure edge. Even though Woods does like to sometimes bring the safety all the way up and stuff, but yeah, for me, look, Andrew Berry's going to pick the best player in my eyes, so fingers crossed he picks the right person for the scheme. So, we've got two great starting defensive ends, but Clowney will leave end of next year, and obviously we've got Myles Garrett.
There's Trevor Lawrence that I've just had in the last 30 seconds. There we go. The pick we all knew was happening. The man with the surfer dude hair that just doesn't look like it belongs, but probably the best player in college football in the last 5 years or so, would you say, Ryan?
Yeah, consensus. He's basically came out of high school, barely lost in his career. Just a born winner.
Not lost the game, actually. He's undefeated in his entire career.
Yeah, Urban Meyer will be making him cut his hair pretty soon.
Paul, tell us a little bit about yourself. If you've got the show's background there.
Yeah, so host a daily podcast for the last 4 years, always about the Cleveland Browns. I try and get out to a good handful of games every year. 2019, I went out to 9 games across the pond.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoy spending my weekends in Cleveland or traveling America, and super excited for the Browns at the moment. But whether we're winning or losing, I love the tailgate more than anything else. So
you must be fairly well acquainted with, we share a wire correspondent in Jeff Risdon. I don't know if you know him particularly well.
I know Jeff very well. Good guy, Jeff. But I always ask the question, are you a Browns fan or are you a Lions fan?
I suspect he probably declines to answer the question.
Yeah. No, I think he's a Browns fan. But yeah.
So where do you see the team's major holes? Obviously, you said you want an edge, but outside of that, where else could you improve?
Yeah, I think definitely wide receiver. Cornerback would be probably the most safest position we could possibly take. And then, defensive tackle, linebacker. They're the real, and yeah, we all know that O-line's priceless. So, us taking an O-line would be a shock, but it wouldn't put it past the GMs.
Steve, do you want to take it from here, man?
Yeah, I've got so I've mocked Christian Barmore to the Browns. I don't know what you think about that as a sort of pick.
Yeah. The problem of picking at 26, this is all new to me. I'm used to getting my pick out of the way and then getting some sleep in. So yeah, this is very unbrowns like. So yeah, there's a few Browns a few Browns fans going for this pick, but yeah, I personally, I'm not sure. I really do think it will be a edge or cornerback.
And then, so you've obviously been over a lot, and do you tend to go to Browns home games, or have you seen the Browns at like away venues as well?
Yeah, my goal now is really to do one home game every season, and then do 3, 4, 5 new away games. That's kind of the goal. Really get them direct flights from London to American cities.
And have you done all the kind of AFC North like derby games?
Yeah. Yes, I've done all of them home and away.
I've got a really good friend in Michigan, and we were chatting about this, and he said that the AFC North and the NFC North are like really similar in terms of their kind of like attitude, and it's all about the geography. So he was explaining that like 6 or 7 of the divisions, the geography is kind of so sporadic and spaced over like thousands of miles that there just isn't that local rivalry. But the NFC North, with the sort of geographical position of like Minnesota, Green Bay, Chicago, Detroit, is like the tightest, apart from probably the AFC North, where Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and I think Baltimore is a bit further away, but it's all pretty like tight. Do you kind of feel that when you go out there?
Yeah, especially in the stadiums. It's really bizarre. You know, the stadiums are really similar. The Paul Brown Stadium, ironically, in Bengals, is a little bit more smaller, but they're all open and very similar feel. So, yeah, you know, Steelers to Browns is 2 hours, to Bengals is 2 hours. Like you said, Ravens, I think it's probably about a 10-hour drive.
But yeah, 2 hours is kind of like round the corner in American geography terms.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I've been to like a higher state games over there as well, and 2 hours away. You know, everything seems to be 2 hours away. But yeah, I think it's a great division, great history. Obviously, we would prefer the Ravens not to be there, but it is what it is. And you know, Detroit, you know, is 2.5 hours away from Cleveland. Chicago's 5 hours. You know, the Colts, I'm going to guess 5 hours away. So yeah, there's a lot of teams close to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the center of everywhere. Have you got any thoughts about players perhaps further down the draft that you've kind of fallen in love with that you'd love to see Cleveland take?
Yeah. So sorry guys, I look at the draft from positions rather than players.
Yeah.
So I normally want to fill positions and blah blah blah, and yeah, I'll be brutally honest, this is probably the year that I've spent the less time looking at players, just because with that 26th spot, it can go absolutely anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I've been with COVID and you know, no combine, well, not the combine as we know it. I haven't really got into it this year, to be honest. And yeah, that's just the way it is, you know. But if we're picking in the top 10, obviously I'm all over it. But I think we've done well. I think we've done well in the draft recently. So yeah, fingers crossed. You know, today is a good day for us.
Mm. And what's your favourite moment as a fan? Do you think? You've obviously seen a lot of games.
Yeah, probably Browns winning against the Steelers in Cleveland, and Myles Garrett hits what was he called?
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, with the helmet. That was probably probably the best highlight. Yeah, so far.
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
Oh yeah, Zach Wilson's just gone to the Jets.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Now this is the big pick. Now the third one, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
the
gonna tell
third
us a
and
lot.
fourth ones are the big ones that can swing things. So, oh,
Yeah.
draft starts now. This is
Yeah, San Francisco will milk this for a good like 9 minutes.
well, they'll have to because they haven't decided who they're taking yet.
Do you think they're going to trade for Rodgers?
Oh, I wish. I
We-
wish.
We just
Certainly
want
hope
Rodgers
so.
out the
Just get rid of
division.
him.
Yeah, out the division. See you later.
That would be ideal, but no, I don't think they will. I think they'll take what they think is the best quarterback on the board, and I think that'll be Mac Jones. I really don't think they should. I think he's not the best quarterback there, but I think he'll take it.
Can't see anyone trading for Rodgers really. I think his contract's huge. So if you're committing to him, you're buying into him for a few years. Like you're putting the rest of the team on hold potentially. Whoever takes him.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if they do the same as like the Stafford Goff? And if rumors are true, so he goes to Denver and Green Bay gets Drew Lock. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
My mate, who's an insider at Denver, saying it's not going to happen. What's he called? Ben Albright. So he's saying it's not. Rodgers to Denver's not happening, but who knows?
That would be so great. I'd be so happy with that.
Yeah,
Just on the Browns again. Obviously, your transition from perennial near first overall pick, like kind of where we've been for a lot of our time. We know how you feel on that. Your transition to this position and seeing the Browns actually be good again. How satisfying is it, and where do you expect to end up this coming year?
It's a weird feeling, and it's a bizarre thing as well because the podcast numbers were better when the Browns weren't doing so well. It's a bit crazy, and I enjoy the Browns whether they're winning or losing. Just the fans and all of that. But yeah, it is great to be playing games in January. That's great, and beating the Steelers twice back to back, that was great. The Chiefs, we could have won that game. Did we deserve to win the game? No, to be honest. And yeah, and that's the NFL really. So we had an opportunity, we didn't take it, we lost. American sports, NFL. There we go.
Do you expect to get back there this year?
I'm a little bit concerned of the hype train, to be honest. I think, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think people are saying the Browns are going to be a top 5, top 10 team, coming into this season. And,
Yeah.
that could do us more harm than anything else with the hype. I much prefer us to be underdogs and grow throughout the season. But, yeah, you look at our players, you look at our 53 man that we predict. It's a strong on paper team. So yeah, we've got some weaknesses. Linebackers. We just lost Sheldon Richardson, defensive tackle. So yeah, they're going back. We may take a defensive tackle, but I think Richardson will come back on a reduced wage. To be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. We're going to start traversing into our next guest time shortly, so I'm going to maybe ask a couple more short questions and see what happens. So, I was going to ask about picks, but you said, so do you see the Ravens rebounding? I mean, they were this team a couple of years ago who obviously had one of the most amazing regular season records ever, and then kind of underwhelmed last year. Do you see them making a big bounce back?
Yeah, definitely. I think the Ravens have got a lot of strength. It's going to be a hard division, Steelers, Bengals could start putting it together now, So yeah, as you said, our division is going to be a tough division. So but yeah, Ravens. I think yeah, they could easily just win the Super Bowl, and then they may not make the playoffs. If we can all work out Lamar and how to play against him, they may need a new quarterback.
Yeah. Once we figure that out, that's going to be the death knells, perhaps. Boys, any further questions for Paul?
Yeah, I'll say. In the recent years, what do you think has happened with Baker? It's like he's suddenly, I don't know, he's kind of grown up. Like he's suddenly realised this is the big boy leagues now. He needs to maybe be a bit more serious. Do you think is someone put an arm around him and told him, like, you're the leader of this franchise, we need to rely on you? Because his play the last year or two is elevated to a new level.
Yeah, I think definitely coming into his second season, he was a bit too cocky and had more commercials than touchdowns. So, I think he's definitely had someone in his ear to said, look, third season, then your fourth season. A lot of players, don't get extensions, and you could be out of this league very quickly. So, he's done well. He's done really well, Baker Mayfield, and fair play to him. He's led on the field and off the field and shut up a lot. And I think it's done him a lot of good. And I think he was always humble. He always had that spark in him to win a game. But, he has lost a lot of big games as well in his careers. So, I think he knows this now. And I think he's been hit quite hard. There was a bit of scandal about him, some local girl giving him some sort of oral sex outside the Cheesecake Factory. And, I think that may have hit a nerve as well. So, Baker's a great guy. He's all about Cleveland. He's all about the team. And I think he will get an extension. I think Cleveland like him a lot. If he really, really dives this season, then I think the Browns will not renew his contract.
All right. That's going to be the end of our time, I think, Paul. So thank you very much for coming on. Where can we find your show?
Yeah, I highly recommend no one to listen to it unless you're a Cleveland Browns fan. It's always talking about the Browns, but yeah.
Oh, Trey Lance
to the San Francisco 49ers.
God damn it.
There it is. Apologies,
we all blew
Paul.
that one.
No, mate, that's bigger news than my podcast, mate, so that's fine.
Right, thank you.
I love you and leave you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, man.
Really good catching up, guys, and
speak soon.
You'll see me celebrating at the 26th as long as we don't trade down.
Sounds good to me. See you then.
Thanks for coming.
Take care, guys.
Have a good birthday.
Cheers, guys.